Blind rank these 10 golf trip destinations. Now, I'm not going to make it easy on you. Some of these are really good, so leave some room at the top.
Okay, yeah, these blind rankings are tough, but go ahead.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, first one up is Pinehurst. I'm starting you off tough
I hate
here.
how you did that.
The cradle of American
one of
golf.
my favorite destinations in the world, but I know there's going to be maybe a little bit better. I'm going to drop Pinehurst in the 3-hole.
Okay, I think the 3 is your safe bet there.
Yeah.
Now, also, to make this a little bit more fair, every single one on this list is places that we've been to.
Fair enough.
Okay, all 10 of these
So
are
it's
places.
not a bucket list trip.
It's you.
We'll do that next time.
What, you saying these places aren't bucket list?
No, they definitely are, but there's always more.
I feel like you already lost your credibility. You already lost all your credibility. No, I'm saying because like now you don't have to guess. You've been there.
Yep.
You've experienced them.
I like
all
it.
right. So we got Pinehurst at number 3.
Number 3 is out.
Hard to debate that spot. Number 3.
It's just one of my favorite spots.
Yeah, I think if you went
Soup to
any
nuts.
lower, someone would have a problem with that one.
Yeah, they would.
There's
not
no
like
doubt
it.
about that.
Mhm.
All right. The second one we got for you is Innisbrook Resort.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a little bit
Copperhead,
hidden
Tampa,
gemish.
Florida. Not bad. I think there's some better spots to play. I'm going to put it in the 10-hole.
Wow.
I know. Sorry, Innisbrook. I love you so much, but I got to put you in the 10-hole.
What made you put a 10?
You know, this for me, it wasn't my vibe.
Okay.
You know, I love playing the
Snake
Copperhead.
pit bit you?
The snake pit bit me.
Yeah.
You know, just everything. You know, and I think golf resort, I go with the whole package, the lodging, all that stuff. For me, I'm going to drop it in the 10.
I'll tell you one thing that I did really enjoy there, the steakhouse. Do you remember the name of that place?
Oh man, I don't.
Now I'm
remember.
really picking your
That
brain.
was good. I know.
There was
I don't
one
remember the name.
right on
right
site.
right in the lodge.
Yeah, right on site there. You know,
The snake might have brought it up to a 9, but
and of course you've got the Copperhead course. That's the big draw there. The other courses were fun. We
The
the
river.
island, right?
yep.
There's
The
the
river.
The
Sorry.
river. This guy's all over the
I'm
map.
all over the place. The island is the one with surrounded by water. That's where
Yeah,
my
the
head was
island
at.
course. Yeah.
And then the other ones. I mean, the courses were great, but just for me, like the whole resort stay and play experience.
I think I'll take it as less of a dig on
Yeah.
them and more on you just leaving room for some of the
I think
other
I am leaving
really
room.
good ones we
I'm
have
gonna
here.
get an email from Innisbrook.
Yeah. All right, we've got 8 more to go. First, I want to take a quick break and talk about our sponsor, Titleist. Guys, the new Vokey SM11 wedges are here to help you sharpen your short game. Every golfer has more in them around the green. You just need the tools and the trust to pull off the exact shots you envision. The SM11 features 6 unique grind options built for every style of play and every shot you face. And now short game performance is even more predictable with the new Vokey spin system, which includes these new razor-like face texture, provides that more reliable spin control, which of course we all want. Great short game shots can mean everything for your round. The SM11 makes them sharper. So what will the SM11 bring to your game? Visit Vokey.com to find out. All right, you got 8 more slots there.
Here I am.
8 more to go.
Okay.
Next one I'm going to hit you with is Whistling Straits. I'm going to say Kohler because it's Kohler Resort. A lot of people know it by Whistling Straits. You've also got the Irish there, which we played. You mentioned for it, River. Meadows. There is a lot of great, at least 4 great courses there. Where's it fall on your list?
The experience playing Whistling Straits on the water, the food, the lodging, it's near and dear. I'm going 2-hole there.
2-hole.
I'm going to put Kohler, Destination Kohler as my 2 spot. You could see where my heart's going to be after this for sure.
Also, wildly underrated there was how good the food was.
Yeah, that's part of my factor. Yeah, remember, just so
Knocked
good.
myself. Food and drink. I remember when we first showed up, the first thing we did that day, we weren't playing yet. We just arrived. We went right to Whistling Straits. We went and had dinner there. And I'll never forget the drink, the Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Pete die.
fantastic.
With the overlooking Whistling Straits, overlooking the water.
I'd say that was one thing that surprised me. The other thing that surprised me with that destination, and just coming from a guy who's coming from, New York, I'm used to more like the Atlantic Ocean, stuff like that. I never realized that the lakes were so blue.
So blue. It looked Caribbean in the
Right.
photos.
You're looking at some of the things, we're looking around like it felt like I was in the Caribbean. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to go swimming there. I think it's
right.
The warmest that lake gets is like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
But gorgeous
Views for
backdrop.
days, historical course. It has it all. It's going in the 2-hole.
Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
I'm nervous that I just eliminated 2 and 3, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're filling up the
Because
top
there's some
slots
good ones
pretty,
too. And I'm
pretty quickly there. Streamsong Resort in Florida.
okay. All right, back to Tampa. Streamsong is an awesome resort. I mean, I loved everything about it. Everything's right there. Convenience, food, lodging. The hotel was great. I'm going to put it in the 6th spot because, again, for personal reasons, I had a lot of fun there, but there are places I'm waiting to add onto this list a little bit higher.
6th slot. Okay, one thing that surprised you at Streamsong.
In a good way?
Yeah, good or bad? One thing that surprised you.
The difference between the courses. There was variation.
Yeah.
You know, between the black, the red, the blue. They all had really awesome signature holes. They all had a beautiful hole that you had to take your camera out on, like the food on each from the tacos, the Cuban sandwich, like everything we did.
Yeah.
The full golfer experience. It was awesome. It's definitely worth more than a 6 in my opinion, but again, I feel like we've been to, in my opinion, better places.
2 things that surprised me there. 1, the hidden course that no one talks about. The roundabout, which is what was it? I think it was 6 holes.
Yep.
Right adjacent to the driving range at the black, where I think that was like one of the coolest ways I've ever warmed up for a round.
Yeah, feeling the turf, the action.
Yeah, getting to go out and like play a couple holes that don't count. See, getting in some bunkers, getting to feel like a little bit of how the greens are going to roll. And it's no tee time. You know what I mean? You just go over there anytime and you just play a couple of holes. And there was no one there. Probably because it's a hidden course.
Yeah, probably.
You don't even see it. Like
and you got to feel the wind.
Yeah.
The wind was whipping. And then we hit those tuna nachos before we went.
The tuna nachos were pretty sick. The second thing that surprised me there was the fact of how many of those megalodon teeth they found.
Yes. How cool was that?
Was so cool. You think like they had the skull in the lobby, and you see how big that thing is. But Streamsong is a place that we've talked about here on the show. We're gonna do it again because it just keeps getting bigger. Announcing a new course. Talk more about that. In fact, later we're going to talk about a really surprising update that dropped yesterday. My hat is going to be, you guys, a little hint of what we're going to talk about. Massive surprise.
I'm excited.
Couldn't be more excited about this. We're even going to rate the new logo that comes with it. So hang on for that. All right, next one on our list here. Cabot, Nova Scotia.
Oh, man. Why are you doing this to me? All right, I got to think about this. I know which ones are coming. This is all a strategic game here. There's something about our experience in Nova Scotia where nothing yet has gone above that, in my opinion. I think I have to put that in the 1 spot because we were hit with that awesome sunset.
1 spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I had a buddy not long ago after you and I came back from that. And he's like, hey, I'm doing my 40th. I need to go somewhere. Where do I go? And we're like, go where we just went. He went. He said, time of his life. It pays you off. Because the quick travel there, we scored the sunset with the bagpiper. The food was one of the best smash burgers I ever had.
Yeah.
I had to go to Nova Scotia to get it. But I know, hour and a half from New York, 3-hour shuttle, which they pick you up for. Right. It's got Wi-Fi in it. The guy stops for beer. Like, it has all the elements. Checks the box, number 1.
Yeah, we did an entire episode on that. What's so cool is like everyone has seen, the Cliffs course. You've seen it on Instagram. It is the most Instagrammable course like on the entire East Coast.
It's amazing.
It's almost like Pebble Beach of the East, right?
Took the words out of your mouth.
But what everybody sleeps on is Cabot Links. It's such an incredible links golf course. If you like fast and firm conditions, it's really like almost impossible to beat. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that list so far. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots remaining open. Next one we're going to slot in there for you. Myrtle Beach.
Knew it was coming.
Okay. And Myrtle Beach is a big one because it's a kind of choose your own adventure. You've got over like 100 golf courses there.
And we've done it twice.
We had to do it twice just to cover even a part of it.
We did 5 on each trip. So we tackled, I believe, 10 of the 90-something Myrtle Beach courses. But both of the Myrtle trips were great. The lodging, where we stayed, all that stuff. I love Myrtle Beach. But I think for me, it's so hard because we had the Strands experience, Caledonia, True Blue. We love Strands. Because of our love for Strands, I think Myrtle's going to have to probably go in the 5 slot because it does offer so much variety for trips. The restaurants are all great. Like you're not going to not find something great down there between golf, food, activities, stuff like that. I know 5 is tough, but it's just, I got to put the love for Strands there. I'm going to go with that.
Listen, I agree in a lot of ways because especially like if you just rank, like we've done this, we talked about this before, rank just like top golf days. Like if you want like one off what you could accomplish in one day, I think it's hard to beat the 1-2 punch of playing Caledonia and across the street, True Blue in the same day.
1000%.
You know, two of Strand's courses in one day, two incredible courses. You get the right weather. That is an experience. It's a 1-2 punch that's hard to beat. So I think for most people, I think Myrtle Beach would slide up or down on their list based on which courses you get. So. You know, but
because there's a range. Don't get me wrong.
There definitely is. But that, and like there's so many other ones, Grand Dune, stuff like that, just to not sleep on that were on that. Just so many good. Tidewater still to this day is one of my favorite courses we've played. Tidewater.
Absolutely.
So that one's way up there. Okay. Next up on the list, Sand Valley Golf Resort. We just did it last year. It's incredible. It's only getting better now with the addition of the Commons, which we haven't played yet, but that is going to be opening this season. Sand Valley, baby.
I mean, I just look at this board. I think the first off, just how blessed we are
that we've been to these places.
Yeah. Geez. The thing with Sand Valley was so great. It's a place that I would go to every year. Let's put it that way. If someone said, "Hey, we're doing our Sand Valley trip this year,"
it's one of those you can keep coming back.
Yeah, just because of it, just the hospitality. I know we talk about food a lot because you know it's part of the experience on these trips. But like that's the place that had the $1 tacos, the $1 food that was out there. So like they accommodate to you there, and the golf there variation totally between the Lido and all the other courses. It's so good. The golf is so good. It's purest golf, in my opinion. 4-spot. I got to put it in the 4-spot. I wish it maybe went up a little bit higher, but how can I compete with Pinehurst, Kohler, and Cabot?
Yeah.
So
it's where I always ask you if it wasn't blind rankings, would you be changing any of these?
So far, I'm looking pretty good, but I might be changing a couple.
Okay.
I mean, the Myrtle in the 5-spot, I think, might come back and haunt me. But sorry. Love Myrtle, too. That's the hard part.
So we got 3 spots left.
7, 8, and 9.
7, 8,
I feel
9.
bad who falls in that 9 spot. But
I'm already going to tell you, it's going to kill you to put this in one of those slots. I've got the McLemore Resort in Georgia.
I knew it. Man, it's tough. It was such a good trip, too. Now, if you guys don't know, this is the place that's golf in the clouds. You know, you've seen the photos on Instagram. Like, you're literally golfing in the clouds. It's mountain golf. We got to preview it when the Keep
also
first opened.
Brand new Keep course,
new.
Which last year Sports Illustrated ranked the #1 new course in the country. And he's got 7, 8, 9 to work with. This is tough.
Well, I have to put it in the 7 spot because, again, full experience. The views were sick. I remember the food being, great. We had that steak dinner. I remember that night in the steakhouse. But I'm not upset with the spot right now because I think the McLemore is still growing. Like this clubhouse isn't even built there on the Keep, and they're still kind of developing. I still think it's amazing. I love that it's in my top 10. I'm gonna put in the 7.
Okay, you have 2 slots left, and you're gonna have 2 really tough ones.
Yeah.
Once again. Okay.
Shoot.
So let's see. I'm gonna give you the next one. I'm gonna give you Sea Island Resort in Georgia.
One of my favorite places ever.
Yeah.
Here's what I think out beforehand.
If you would have shuffled it maybe a little bit different if it wasn't blind ranking.
Absolutely. Sea Island would go absolutely as fast as possible into the 5 spot right now.
He's really lamenting that 5 spot right now. Guys.
So I would move that. I will come back to what I would do, John Madden style, in a second. All right.
I think the tough thing you got here is we're talking best of the best here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's no wrong answer.
I would any day take any one of these trips tomorrow if you told me I could.
Totally. Oh, so good.
But Sea Island Resort. So when we were there, first of all, I would say probably one of the best accommodations we've ever had, staying right in the lodge. Also, getting to tour the locker room there. You know, a lot of people consider it the best locker room in the country. But courses, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
3
amazing
courses. We got to play 2 of them.
Seaside.
Wow. Yes.
That. And their instructional facility there is top notch. I think PGA Tour pros live down there.
Yep. Might be the best, practice performance facility in the country.
And hands down the best biscuits and gravy I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm always on the hunt for that. Yeah. You don't get that up here in the north.
He plays well when he has biscuits and gravy.
Damn well.
Yeah.
So Sea Island's got to go 8. Again, wish it was 5. If I could swap them, I would go Myrtle in the 8 spot. But I made my choice. So Sea Island 8.
Yeah, we're giving away our last slide. You only got number 9.
Outer Banks?
No.
Ooh, I thought you were going to be throwing a wrench at me right now.
Cabot Citrus Farms.
I hate these blind rankings. That's tough. Well, it's got to go in the 9. Cabot was fantastic, and we got to play it on preview play as well before a lot of the stuff was built. But now just seeing a lot of the photos, because it's been like 2 years since we've been there. Place looks great. The cabins are built. the amenities there are top notch. I love the fact that they have a lit night course on property.
I mean, I think the
That's a
variety
key.
there is the one thing that's just like unbeatable between the true short course, that's the wedge, up to the squeeze, which is like this perfect, like we talked about this before, like we were seeing this with Sand Valley now with the Commons, this like afternoon course type of vibe
Yeah.
where you've got a mix of holes and you could play it in like 2.5 hours. And then of course the Roost, the Karoo. I mean, and as that place continues to build out, to get the lodging there, there's going to be adding more, that it just keeps getting better.
I want another crack at that Karoo.
Yeah.
It ate me up.
Tough
I'm a
course.
little bit better of a golfer since, so I feel like a little more shot precision.
Yeah.
But as far as golf course design, it's like one of the nicest designs I've ever seen.
Tough course, tough greens.
Tough. That's probably
Big greens. You could find yourself in another zip code when you're on one side of those greens and you're trying to just even get it close to the hole. Like 3-putt's not always a bad thing. When you're 60 feet from the hole on one of those big greens.
Yep.
It was a tough one.
Yeah. But hey, I'm happy with this. Tail the tape. I think I moved Myrtle out to 8. I think I moved Streamsong out to 9, or 8 and 9. It's probably something like that, and slide those guys over. Other than that, I'm pretty happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, you got about 80% of them where you want them to be.
Absolutely. I love it. I think I did well.
Not a bad blank ranking. All right,
Cool,
now
man.
let's switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about this week's Fletcha question of the week. And guys, of course, it's brought to you by Fletcha Azul Tequila, a clean, additive-free tequila crafted from pure blue agave. I mean, whether you're having a little bit of the reposado on a little ice, or if you take that Blanco, make a great margarita, it absolutely can't be beat. And the question I want to ask you guys this week is, what is your favorite non-major golf tournament?
That's
of
a good
course,
question.
we got Players Week this
Yeah.
week, right? So, I mean, many people will automatically default to saying the Players, widely considered the fifth major, probably the strongest non-major field of any tournament on the planet. But I don't know if it's my answer. Is it yours?
I think it might be. I was thinking about this when they were talking about it being the fifth major, and it's the one that gets, I think, the most, I mean, the largest numbers television-wise. Leading into the season. So like Bay Hill, for example, last week, I'm sure got a lot of eyeballs. It's a fun tournament, a lot of big names, signature event. But this, I think the Players is when really people are starting to dive in. So I think the Players is, I would think, the one for me. It's people would say the Challenger with like Riviera and stuff like that. No, I think it's the Players.
Yeah. For me, it's a Zurich.
Holy, I almost just passed out.
No, I'm kidding. No, you almost passed out.
Wow.
No, I'm gonna also, and I feel like it's a cop out, I get it, but I'm gonna also take the Players, but for a slightly different reason. For me, where it is now in the schedule, moved up to March, it's kind of the kickoff to the season to me.
Totally.
A lot of people consider like the Masters the official kickoff, but I feel like the Players is where the warm up to the season kind of like goes away, and we get into like the real meat of the golf season, but on the Pro Tour. And I just, like I said, I love the characters. I love to see TPC Sawgrass and how much it's evolved over the years. It is one of the most pure places on the planet now.
It really is.
And of course, 17 always drives a lot of attention. It's always electric. It's always a lot of fun to watch.
So much money to maintain that place. It's always perfect.
I can't even imagine what the spend is on that.
I mean, well, you're spending $800 on a tee time, so they're getting their money.
Yeah. I tell you what, one ranking we're gonna have to do at some point is the most expensive tee times in America.
That's a good one.
We've been down that road a little bit before, talking about some of the ones that are like eye-poppingly big, but I
Four
think
figures.
Yep. Stick around for we'll do that ranking. There's one that you take a limo to get there.
They pick you up.
They pick you up in a limo. They better for the price, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna come back in just a second. We're gonna talk about this brand new surprise golf course that was unveiled. I want to rank the logo. I think this is gonna be a collector's item real quick, and I love the idea of it. So this is what we're gonna get into in just a second. Let's do a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll come right back to it.
All right, FootJoy has officially unveiled the latest version of its popular Premier Series golf shoe, introducing a fully updated lineup for 2026 that builds on one of the most widely worn models in professional golf. And guys, if you're watching this episode, I'm holding it in my hand. This is the Premier Series. Believe it or not, 40% of the guys on tour wear this. And I mean, that means a lot. These guys are playing for lots of money, and they're trusting this as their shoe. It's making it the most played shoe model at the highest level of the game. And FootJoy is releasing this Premier Series Packard, and they're also, get this, releasing another one that's coming later next month, the Marquee, which we got to see that as well at the PGA show. 2 beautiful shoes. This one I cannot wait to throw on. Golf season's right around the corner. This is going to be the first shoe I will be wearing on the golf course. Easily my favorite. So check it out. Go to footjoy.com. Pick up a pair for yourself.
All right, diving back into it. Like I said earlier, I'd say my hat was probably the giveaway. And I can also tell you guys this honestly, this was not planned. I grabbed this hat out of the closet this morning. It's just one of my favorites.
Yep.
Felt like wearing red today and didn't even think of this. But what we've got is the Matchbox at Tobacco Road. Let me read you guys the announcement that came right from them, and then we'll kind of talk about it as guys who have been to Tobacco Road many times, even stayed on property right at the Stewart cabin. I would say this is so exciting to me because I think the land there is so unique. You know, I mean, I think that's the genius, of course, we'll always talk about is of Mike Strands of what he did with the land, but you have to a certain extent, unless you're going to move all the earth and completely reshape it, like you have to kind of work with what you get there. And he had such an interesting bit of land, and then he was able to really craft that. So I think it's really cool to find out. Sadly, Mike Strands has left us. You know, we can't get any more from him, but just something to build on and add to that location is so incredible. So let me tell you exactly what they announced yesterday. Let's read the announcement and then we'll talk a little bit about it. So what they said is it's happening more than 25 years after Mike Strands carved Tobacco Road into the North Carolina sandhills with his signature artistic flair. Something new is coming to the property, once known for sand and gravel mining, yet now revered as one of America's most creative golf courses. The Matchbox, a 12-hole collection of one-shotters winding through the trees near Tobacco Road's 12th and 13th fairways, will feature synthetic turf blended into the natural landscape, as is expected and is expected to welcome golfers as early as August 2026. That's really exciting. Then we got, this is a special piece of property as it contains spoils shaped during construction nearly 30 years ago, says Mark Stewart, whose family opened Tobacco Road in November of 1998. The more I've walked around this corner of the property through the decades, the more obvious it has become that a unique golf experience could be revealed, and we're excited to share it with Sandhills travelers. Utilizing synthetic turf will enable us to deliver consistent playing conditions while maximizing the shade of the existing tree canopy. I want to talk about that in a second. They said the Matchbox is a design partnership with Carlton Marshall Golf Design and Mark White. Justin Carlton trained under White, one of the original Tobacco Road shapers who learned his craft under Mike Strands. Really cool kind of
Very cool.
Thread there.
Mhm.
He said there's a distinct line from our past to the present, and we believe that the Matchbox will become a must-play experience in its own right. Mike Strands was a master of scale, Lee Marshall said. Having Mark White on the project provides an experienced knowledge of Strand's vision that we're incorporating into our design. Multiple holes play along the pond that few fans of Tobacco Road even knew existed all these many years. In the design process for Tobacco Road, we talked about Mike building a par 3 over that pond, but it didn't make the final routing, Stewart recalls. Now we have the opportunity to bring that bit of drama back into play in a different way. Then they say more information on the Matchbox, including rates and availability for the latter half of 2026, will be released when Tobacco Road unveils its newly designed website later this spring. So a lot of exciting stuff there.
Yeah, totally.
First thing I got
place.
to talk about, though, I'm a big logo guy.
Yeah.
I love this logo. The Matchbox with the I need it,
I need it now.
right?
Yeah, how do we get our hands on that stuff? Because get the credit card out. You and I, we did that, especially with the hat you're wearing. We went on their website, noticed they had great products just for sale through their online pro shop.
Yeah.
And we just picked up a whole bunch because I love the stuff they do. Tobacco Road is great. I love those guys. They've been so nice to us, allowing us to come film and do our drive episode there last year. But that's a cool logo. I love it.
Yeah, and so you're going to get 12 holes. Again, utilizing that interesting piece of property. Now, I think it's going to be a little bit polarizing of people saying this idea of the synthetic turf or not. But I like the idea. I mean, first of all, synthetic turf has come a long way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We're not talking about the synthetic turf of 10, 12 more years ago. Nowadays, it's super realistic look, feel. We're seeing more golf course, especially short courses incorporated. We're even seeing it like in the TGL, right? Like indoor.
Yep.
So I think it'll become very playable. But the reality is, and the more we've traveled and played courses and understood them, I think there's this kind of like dual-edged sword where a lot of trees you're seeing are getting removed from golf courses. And a lot of people like hate to necessarily see the trees go because of the character it adds. But what you don't necessarily always understand is big part of that decision is the turf. And when you get a place like Tobacco Road that already gets a lot of play, and then these short courses where they're going to have tee boxes that would otherwise be just really chewed up from so much iron play, it becomes a situation where it makes it very hard to have very consistent turf. I mean, remember one person once told me that you can't grow grass in a closet, right?
Yeah.
And when you have that much tree cover, you don't have the sunlight it takes, especially for the turnover of turf that quickly. So I think it's a wise decision. I think also it's a place that, you know, being able to play those conditions throughout the year. But more importantly, like I said, you only have just so much land with that character. So rather than letting it just sit there unused, adding this and making, you know, an additional routing for a short course, I think is brilliant. And Tobacco Road it's kind of a little out of the way. There's not a whole lot of other golf. You're maybe 30 minutes from Pinehurst, but like if I want to stack golf on a trip, like being able to play two kind of loops in one day on one property, right? How do you beat that? And recently we talked about, we stayed right in that Stewart cabin. Now it makes that even more appealing. Now the idea of like putting together a package of staying on site at Tobacco Road in the Stewart cabin, playing Tobacco, and then playing the Matchbox, that's a 10 out of 10 day for me.
That's a trip for us coming up. It has to be.
Yeah. So where are you putting 1 out of 10? The brand new logo. Let's lump them together. Name and logo. What are you thinking? Where you're scoring this thing out of 10?
10 being the best.
10 being the best.
I'm gonna give it a 9-1.
I like that.
I like it because it's unique. Plus you have Tobacco, Matchbox, still in the same kind of flair. You're striking the match to light the cigarette or cigar, whatever the case may be. Tobacco Road, by the way, is one of my favorite names of any golf courses. And Tobacco Road Golf Course might be one of my favorite golf courses in the world. So it's hitting all the feels for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tobacco Road. You need a Matchbox, right? I mean, I think it not only that, it opens the door for so many. Nowadays, the hottest thing's alternate logos, so many different variations on it. But I think the main logo, super simple. Love the flag, the match, the 12 right on it. I'm going to put it at a 9.5. I don't think you can go much higher than that. This one just was one that was instantly hit with me. I'm like, I got to have it. You guys let us know in the comments what you would rank the new Matchbox 12 name and logo. I'm excited for this
20, Matchbox 12. It was an old band, right?
That was an old band.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But
I think I'd be a bigger fan of 12.
But by the way, quick little side note, Streamsong's announcing theirs next week.
That's
New
right.
course name and logo. Stay tuned for that.
Big announcements. We had surmised, keeping with the theme of it being a color, we went with Streamsong. We were leaning towards white or green. We think white or green. Still want to hear what you guys
indigo, fuchsia, anything like that.
I don't think it's going to be a Streamsong indigo. I don't think that's going to happen. But like I said, a lot of exciting announcements, a lot of these destinations that are only getting better. So I had a little fun today with this one, blind ranking them. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.